Hi both, how are you?
Very
Doing
well. How are
well.
you?
Yeah, good, thank you. And thank you so much for taking the time today to talk about this awesome film.
Oh,
Absolutely.
So,
thank
of
you.
course, I wanted to start off by acknowledging, obviously, you've both been involved with this franchise since day one. So, what is it like for you now to see just how long these characters have been around and just the longevity of this franchise?
It's kind of unreal, but really amazing. It's I mean, 20 years of living with these characters and living in this world of the Ice Age has been amazing. Been an amazing ride, and the fact that it continues is it just goes to show you that how thrilled I am that generations, grew up with this film. A generation grew up with this film, and hopefully a new generation will now grow up with them again. And adding more to the franchise is just such a dream come true.
Totally. I was sort of blown away when some of the animators kind of pulled me aside at one point and said, when I was in second grade, Ice Age was my favorite movie, and because they grew up on these movies too. And in some cases, whether it's direct or not, it inspired them to become animators and to come into the business. So they were so thrilled to be animating these characters, these beloved characters. So it felt an honor to like carry that forward.
Amazing. And of course, Simon Pegg has been involved with this franchise since 2009, which obviously over a decade. So what's it been like for you both to follow his journey as this character of Buck as well, which is obviously culminating with this film of his now?
No, it's been wild. I mean, we create the character of Simon on the page. Of Simon, we've created the character of Buck on the page, and we always knew we had a lovable character, but that character wasn't born until Simon came in and recorded it, because Simon is that character. I mean, he's just wacky and eccentric and lovable, and he's got such heart, and he's got such energy. And I think, as soon as he started voicing the character, we knew it was going to be a beloved character. And so when it started in Dawn of the Dinosaur, he was such a marvelous addition to the Ice Age family, that when the fourth Ice Age came up, we couldn't put him in because we had sort of closed off that storyline. But he said to me, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't be in it." And I said, "Well, we'll figure something out." And then we found a storyline that could bring him into the fifth film, the Collision Course. So I was thrilled to have him back. So now that he has his own story, it's even more exciting, because now we're able to look at this character and spend more time with him and get to know him a little bit more. That he's not just a swashbuckling hero; he's got other sides to him, and we're just starting to understand or get to know him. This solitary character who's been alone for so long. Now that he's coupled with other characters, now we get to see a little bit of how he's going to grow and change.
Yeah, and of
Absolutely.
course, yeah, and of course, John, you're making your feature directing debut here. So having had this history with the Ice Age franchise for such a long time, was that incredibly helpful to you when it came to directing this installment?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, it was really, it was so great to be working with Lori on this movie, because right from the very beginning of the first Ice Age movie, we've had a friendship and a collaboration. And our collaboration involved in this, and giving me the opportunity to direct it. And but yeah, I do know the characters, and it was fun to just play with them and invent and work with the actors and the animators and stuff to create new scenes and stuff. So it was an evolution for me personally on this project, much like it's an evolution to go into Buck's character in more in depth. So absolutely, and it was great to do it with the familiar characters and material, and we tried to bring new things into it, and some lightness into the scenes and things that was just a real joy. We just had the best time. I think Lori and I both agree that we just had a really, really fun time with this one.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. There's also such a shorthand between us, because we know all the characters so intimately. But it's also, we're both very protective of the franchise and want to make sure that the spirit of the Ice Age was continuing.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Disney is a studio with a lot of animated franchises. So when that Disney Fox merger happened, were you ever concerned that Ice Age was something that might fall by the wayside, or was there always something in the works that eventually the franchise would return? And obviously, quite appropriately now for this 20-year anniversary.
I don't know that we knew for sure, but I think I know I was hopeful that they would want to continue the franchise. That's all. I was thrilled that when I found out that they did want to do that, and I'm so thrilled that they love this movie that we made and they're so behind it, which is just so it's amazing for us to be able to continue the ride.
Yeah, I mean, we've felt such great collaboration and support from Disney on this project, and the executives that we work with. I mean, I can't really even point to a better example of the kind of close collaboration we had actually making this. And it's undeniable the box office success of the franchise before Disney acquired that 20th century, that they would want to be able to continue with these storylines. So we're just thankful that we were able to keep it all on on brand, so to speak, and in the sense that it's it's appropriate. It's an appropriate story, it's appropriate characters, and it was very much a focus of ours right from the very beginning to make sure that this felt like an Ice Age movie. This felt like it fits in, and even music choices and things like that. It very much was canon. It was part of the franchise.
Amazing. And of course, the film is debuting on Disney Plus, and that streaming service is what has been one that's really shown us, both with Pixar and Disney animation, all the different sort of shorts and TV shows they can do. So are you really excited for the future of the franchise potentially on streaming, or are you thinking maybe to get back to the big screen eventually as well, or perhaps a combination of both?
I think it could go any way. I mean, I think one thing that has happened with streaming being important, and this is just me philosophical, is that it's opened up avenues for different kinds of content. And we've seen some amazing work on streaming that we haven't been able to see in theaters. I'd love to see them on the theaters. Don't get me wrong. I love the big screen. I love the experience and everything. But there's such a diverse demand for content. And I think it's undeniable, again, that anybody who's objectively looking at the business can see that there's amazing opportunity for content with streaming and the demand, and even niche kind of animation markets, things that are a little bit more narrowly either guided towards adults or sci-fi or that kind of thing. But there's always going to be room for these big family events, whether it's on the big screen or whether it's little screen. Something that you can watch with your 5-year-old can watch with your grandmother. Those are the kinds of things that I think we all enjoy watching.
Yeah, and I assume, Laura, you feel the same way about where the franchise could go?
Yes, I look, I think content, whether it's theatrical or whether it's streaming, I think the more people that are able to access the material, the more people are able to access the films, I think the better. And a lot of people do respond to streaming, and I think it's a great way of showcasing any of the films that we make.
And I will just add on to that real quick that I wasn't thinking about whether this was streaming or theatrical
Right.
in the making of it. It's like we wanted to make it to be entertaining, fun, big, bold, and feel cinematic, regardless. So we got a massive, beautiful orchestral score. We've got beautiful colors and rich, vibrant environments and things. And I wasn't thinking in the back of my brain, oh, this is going to be on TV and people are going to watch it on their iPhones, which inevitably some will. But we made it a big movie, big sound, big music, big, colorful, bright imagery. And, you know, so if you've got a great system at home, you're going to enjoy it that much more.
Yeah. I think that's the best point, is that none of us ever thought we were making anything other than a movie. Wherever they show it, but it's still the movie we would have made, whether we were at a studio, whether it's for theatrical or whether it's for streaming. It didn't make a difference to us. We were just making a movie as good as we could make it.
And funny and entertaining as we could possibly do it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys nailed it. And as someone who grew up with the franchise, I really appreciated this film and had a great time. So excited to see what comes next. And thank you so much for your time today.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
for the
very
kind
much.
words.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah.